Hello everybody, welcome back to another session on logic development. We're discussing concept of iterative constructs. Now we'll be taking a lot of examples over here because I know with all my experience that freshers actually struggle with this particular concept. We had taken up some examples last session, and plus I had asked you to solve few examples as well. So we'll do both the things. We'll first go through the examples that you have solved. Even before I take some additional examples, we'll actually focus on what we have done. So we need to work on this particular aspect itself. So let's review the examples that you have solved. But again, another important thing that I'd like to share with you. If you're actually attending these sessions and you want to have the most out of it, if you're in a hurry to start learning programming languages, knowing syntax of languages is not going to make any good. If you cannot use Java or Python to get your work done, then knowing Java, knowing Python is of no use. Till the time you do not have ideas, what are you going to do by learning Java, Python, C, C++? Nothing. So this entire exercise that we are indulging into is to improve your confidence, your ability to write code. Here we may be expressing idea in form of algorithms and flowcharts. That's okay. But the same thing needs to be translated later into a computer program. This is the idea that we are representing. And if you do not have that idea right, then what are you going to do with Java language or Python language? And to make the best of these particular sessions, the first thing is you have to be consistent. You cannot be in and out for the session. एक दिन आए, दो दिन नहीं आए, बीच में नहीं किया, assignment नहीं किया. That will not give you the intended results. नहीं मिलेंगे. You'll only have that particular for a period. That feeling will come into your I cannot write code. But then we have not done it in the right approach. These exercises that we are doing, the discussion that we are indulging, are actually building the foundation for you so that you can write program in any language that you learn. Language learning is very simple because if you know what is to be done, while you learn language, you just have to learn the syntax. So language learning is easy. Developing idea is more complex. So make sure if you have missed any sessions, go through those sessions. And if you really want to be successful in this IT field, you want to enjoy this area, domain, and be a developer, there are other opportunities which are there. Not being a developer also, you can make your career. There are a number of options which are available in the IT domain. But if you really want to be a developer, and that too a successful developer, you have to be very good at logic. And without that, there are no ways there are no shortcuts actually. So you have to make your own choice. And this is the right time for you to spend time. Later, when you start appearing for interviews, and then when you realize that you're not getting the right kind of job, then probably you are to be blamed because then you are not having that right kind of skill sets which are required. So build those skill sets right now, build your confidence, and be a successful developer. Okay, so let's jump ahead, going with those assignments that we had taken up. What are the first question that I had given as an assignment? What are the first question? Yes, anybody?
Average of number and find small number.
No, smallest and the largest amount. Yeah, that was one of the questions that I got. So it was like how many numbers we are supposed to accept?
10
numbers. The question was accept 10 integers from user and find out the smallest, largest, and average of all the numbers that has been entered. Okay. So I see the first one who has submitted this assignment is one is Prithviraj and third is Sanjay. We'll look at everybody's score and understand if it is right. If there are changes, mistakes, we'll identify those mistakes as well. Bhagish has also done it. So there are 3 submissions for that assignment. If anybody else has done it, please submit it. आशीष HW9 क्या है?
Again, sir.
What is that HW9? Which assignment is it?
This one only, sir. Minimum, maximum.
So I'll take that as well. So we'll look into multiple solutions. We'll look into multiple solutions. Okay, what are mistakes, or if it is right. Okay, let's jump ahead with the discussion. Okay. So let's check the first one. This is what Prithviraj has solved. Let's have a look at it. So he has input NOS. Not a very good name. Anyway, input numbers he would like to say. But at one time, you're not going to accept multiple numbers. At one time, you're going to accept only one number, isn't it? So you could just say a number, an input number, whatever it is. Why do you have to say input NOS numbers? It's only a single number that we're accepting at one point. Then total initially set to 0. That's good. Your input counter to keep a track as to how many variables. So you just say counter. That's good enough. Okay. Input counter is set to 9. 9. Okay. Let's see why 9. Then you have test counter that is set to 0. Pritesh, can you explain why are these two different counters taken?
9 was just to end the loop, the test counter.
But then if it's a constant, the naming convention for constant, we have decided to use upper camel case, correct?
Yes, yes.
And when somebody says counter, what feeling one gets? That means it's a variable that you are going to use for counting, correct?
Yes.
That's the first impression. The choice of names is very important. First, it should be upper camel case or a possible full all case. Your logarithm is not allowing us all uppercase, so we are at least supposed to use upper camel case. Second is the name cannot be input counter or test counter. There is a confusion. Average has been defined. We have taken average as integer. So if I'm taking average as integers, 12.5 if I get, how will it work? Will it give you ever the right answer?
No, not real.
Then max and min is okay integer. What is this integer acceptor that you have written? Variable again?
Yes.
No,
In every loop, a number will get stored in it afterwards.
just to accept a number, correct?
Yes.
Then what is this used for?
I took 2, I guess.
Let's say we say enter number acceptor. Now listen, when I use the word acceptor, it's more like a verb. It sounds more like a verb. That means an action that is being performed. It looks like it's a method name. Acceptor, it's going to accept a number. It's a variable. Variables and methods are two different things. It looks like it's the name of some program, number acceptor, a program that is only accepting. So this was a poor choice of number name. Input counter greater than 0, greater than equal to 0. So what is the input counter value? 9. 9 greater than equal to 0. Negative logic here. 9, 4, 3, 2, 1 क्यों count करे? When you can count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this will only make, and that too greater than equal to 0. Then we are asking the user to enter the number. Whatever number user enters, we are storing into total. That's okay. Input counter equal to 9 है, तो false है तो यहाँ हो गए. False है तो number acceptor is less than min. And it will be the last number that you are accepted, na?
Yes. Then it will get stored as min.
Okay, so that will be checked. If the number acceptor is less than min, then you are going to store it in min. But what's the value of min initially?
Nothing. First
So,
time it will get.
What is this condition true or false? If I accept number as 5, 5 less than nothing,
No.
is that true? This min is a variable that is uninitialized. If it is uninitialized, that means we cannot determine what value will be stored in this min because you have not initialized this variable min. Correct?
Yes.
I said if the first operation that is performed the variable is that of assignment, then that variable need not be initialized. But पहली बार जहाँ program में आप variable use कर रहे हो, if you are there, you are reading the value of the variable. All such variables should be initialized. जैसे here, total is equal to total plus number acceptor. You are reading the value first. So you had initialized this variable first. Initialize किया. So here, this program will not even run. Did you run this code and see?
Yes.
Don't tell me. How is it possible? Okay, let's try and run. Okay, let's see what happens. These are our variable counters. Now let's run this code. Look, these variables are uninitialized. Min and max are uninitialized. You are there for some surprises. Uninitialized means you never know what's the value that is stored inside that particular variable. It can be any garbage value. I first enter the first number as 12. And we go ahead. 12 enter kya hai? 12 is equal to 9, min and max is set to value as 9. Oh, ho, 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 ho. So what have you done? You have put this particular condition to check for the first time. That means you are writing this condition to check what if it's the first time that you are accepting the number, the min and max is the same number. That's what you're saying, Prithviraj?
Yes.
Here you have done that initialization. Now, this will happen only for the first time. How many times this condition will be true?
Once only. After that,
Once.
it will compare.
Correct. It will be true only once, but it will be checked every time.
Yes.
So although you have done this particular code correctly over here, you have initialized this variable, it will correctly work over here, give you min and max. Okay, average is not right. Okay, but min and max is definitely right what you have got. So आपका code सही काम करेगा. But point is, mistakes are you're going to check for this particular condition unnecessarily multiple times. Whereas this condition will be true only for the first time. Because probably you're decreasing the value of input counter again. Here you're decreasing the value of input counter. Okay, so this condition will be checked n number of times, wherein it will be true only once. So this is something which will hamper the performance of a program because you keep on checking that condition every now and then. Okay, so that was one flaw in this particular code. Although it is giving us the correct answer. Okay, let's look at the other implementation. Who else has done this? Whose code is this?
From me, Bhagyashree.
ये किसका है?
Bhagyashree, मेरा. Hello.
कोई तो बोलो ये किसका है? If you're not going to tell, I'll not discuss it.
Hello. मेरा है sir, Bhagyashree.
Okay. So let's see. Number of integers, that's 10. Very good. Real average. Total sum, total is set to 0. Minimum number, max number, integer number, okay. Integer counter, that's also good. Enter the first integer. That's a very good idea. She is accepting the first number first time. She will get the first number. What is the first number? She says the first number itself is a maximum number. First number itself is a minimum number. दोनों first number ही है, minimum और maximum दोनों वही है. And then total is equal to total plus number. That's very correct. But why do you have to say total plus number, Bhagyashree? I need not take this variable total sum as 0 initially. Whatever is the variable that you have taken, पहला number जो है, वो number ही बन जाएगा तो ठीक है ना? Total sum is number for the first time. 0 plus 5 is same as sum is equal to total sum is equal to 5. Okay, and then you are taking counter as 2 because first number has been already accepted. I hope you understood this, Bhagyashree. Bhagyashree, have you understood the state change that I have done? Is she there in the class?
Yes sir. Understood.
Then we have taken counter as 2. Now, this is very sensible approach. Counter as 2 because she has already accepted the first number. So the counter can now be very safely taken as 2. Okay. So counter has been taken as 2. That means we are saying 2 less than equal to number of integers. Number of integers she has defined as 10. Number of integers she has defined as 10. So while counter less than number of integers, that is less than 10, then she asks the user to enter second number, accepts the number. She checks if the number accepted. I had told you before and after the operator always use a space. That's a practice that you should follow. If the number accepted is greater than maximum number, and what is maximum number? The first number that you accepted. Max and min both are the first number that you accepted. So the second number accepted, is it larger than the first number that you accepted? If that is the case, this number is a maximum number. If that is not the case, then she's saying only then, instead of checking for all the three conditions every time, she's saying if the number is not larger, then it will check if the number is smaller than the minimum number. If the number is smaller than the minimum number, then that minimum number is that minimum number. Okay, otherwise false है तो आगे बढ़ेंगे, and then that will be added to the sum. Okay, total sum is equal to total sum plus this new number that has been added. And counter is equal to counter plus 1. This counter is keeping a track कि हमने अब तक कितने numbers accept किए. Bhageshri, next time if I don't see you putting spaces, I'll punish you.
Okay, sir.
And then average equal to calculate average every now and then. He's saying average equal to total sum divided by number of integers. Array, first time average, second time average, third time average, fourth time average. Why do you need to calculate this average every now and then? Rather, I would rather calculate this average just before the average was to be displayed. Here, because total sum we already have. So in this loop, we'll only do the total sum. Find which is max, which is minimum. And once we come out of that loop, once the condition is false, when 10 numbers have been accepted, when the condition is false, when we come out, then we display the largest number is so and so, the smallest number is so and so. After displaying that, we'll calculate the average. Average is total sum. Why do you need to put brackets unnecessary? It's just a single variable. Total sum क्या sum ही बोल देते उसको काफी था. Total बोलो, sum बोलो, total sum क्यों चाहिए? And then average of all the integers, 10 integers is average, and the program will stop. It looks a correct code. Only thing is, it need not be total sum. Total and sum are same meaning. It could either be sum or it could be total. Need not say total sum. It could either say total or it could say sum. So I'll just make the changes. I find this is a very good code that one can write. Okay, to get the answer. So it's a very good attempt, better than what Prithviraj has done, because Prithviraj is checking for all the three conditions every time. You are checking either for this condition, if this is false, then this condition. Whereas the first condition, that is whether it's the first number accepted or so on, that has been taken care of by accepting the first number separately. It will increase the length of the code, but improve the performance significantly. And here, instead of saying 10 integers, you could have said number of integers, because tomorrow I may say do the program for 50 integers. So I don't want to go and make changes over here. So don't use this 10 number over here. This seems to be a perfect solution that one can think about writing. Good work, Bhageshri. Let me see again. Let's reduce this counter from 10 to 5, and let's see do we get the right answer for 5 integers. So let's run this code quickly. So we have some variables that have been defined. Look, average, sum, min, max, none of them have been initialized. We ask the user to enter the first number. The user enters first number as 5. So in that case, num is also 5, max sum is 5, min number is 5, sum is 5, even all the variables have been set to value as 5. Then after that, we accept the second number. Please enter the next integer, she says. Pehla message, please enter first integer. Now she says, please enter the next integer. She enters 45. So 45 greater than 5 hai kya? हाँ. 45 is stored in max number. Note कीजिएगा, the max number has changed. Sum has become 50. Max number has become 45. Min is still 5. Okay, num is 45. Whereas counter has now become 3. And 3 less equal to 10 hai kya? Yes, we accept the next integer. Next integer we enter as minus 10. Minus 10. So minus 10 greater than max है क्या? नहीं है. So minus 10 less than minimum है क्या? है. So now minimum changes, and that sum is also changing. So minimum number has now become minus 10. Sum has reduced to 10. So we now go on to accept the next number. The next number that I accept is suppose 20. I enter 20. So again we check, is 20 greater than max? No. Is 20 less than min? No. So sum में सिर्फ add कर लिया, counter check कर लिया. We are going to accept the next number. Now counter has become 5. That's the last number that we are going to accept. The last number that I enter is 6. So 6 greater than max है क्या नहीं? 6 less than min है क्या नहीं? So 6 is added, counter is added, conditions false. So largest number we are displaying, that is 45. Minimum number is -10. Average we have calculated, and we are displaying the average as 13.2. Perfect way to solve this particular example. I see no other suggestion that I can give while I have a look at this particular solution. Good work, Bhagyashri, with that small change that we have done. So this was, I'll say this, and I'll use your solution as min max average loop. So it's an example of looping construct for me. It is an example of white loop that we used. That is a good example. Good way to solve it. Let's look at what somebody else has also submitted. It's Ashish who has submitted. Let's look at Ashish's solution. Look, Prithviraj also got it right, but that was not as efficient as this. Okay, so it's not about correctness, it's about how good or bad the code is. Okay, let's see. What has Ashish done? He has taken array, which is actually not necessary. Then min, max, average, sum is set to 0, counter is 0. So he makes use of two different loops. First loop to accept the numbers, and second loop to do the operations, which is not required. Plus, he does everything that Bhagyashri has done. Okay, so here the complexity actually increases twofold. That means if I'm going to accept 10 numbers, so this loop will also run 10 times, and this loop will also run 10 times. So this is correct answer. But then if I have to compare between Prithviraj, Bhagyashri, and Ashish, all three are correct answers. Best is Bhagyashri, second is Prithviraj, and third is Ashish. Why? Because I'm saying why I'm giving this code as a third choice. While Prithviraj checking for one condition inside that loop every time, you will check for 10 conditions over here, 11 conditions over here, 11 conditions over here. And plus, these two conditions are again being checked by everybody. So the number of conditions that you're checking, Ashish, has now been doubled as compared to others. So 2 times you are performing that operation, that's not a very good idea to go about. Okay, so if you look at time complexity, it will be 2 times what others have done. Okay, because you are doing this entire loop operation 2 times, where in one loop itself you could have finished with the operations. You are using the similar loop multiple times. Okay, so although this is right, not a very good idea to go about. Okay. Now, anybody has a question, please ask. Have you understood this solution that we have done? And I would have appreciated if everybody had submitted, because it's not the matter of right or wrong. Look, Ashish also gave the answer that is correct. Prithvi also gave that is correct. So we had 3 different solutions. All of them were right.
I have also submitted, sir.
You have also submitted. Now, what is the name of your file?
Average of number.
Average of numbers. Let's say what happens with Sanjay's file. This is average of numbers. Let's see Sanjay's implementation. So he takes a variable limit. That's a very good choice, but limit should have been capital L capital. It's a constant. Okay, name capital चाहिए था. Limit 10. Integer counter 1. Okay, good. Integer number sum 0. Okay. Average integer नहीं चलेगा. There is a mistake now. Average should have been of type float Sanjay. That means real number. Because average may not be whole number. When they have max as 1, who said max is 1 and who said minimum is so and so? Okay. Who said? I could enter all numbers which are negative. Then your max will go wrong. If I enter all the 10 numbers as -5, -6, -10, -1, -0 or -5, then -1 is the smallest number. In your case, max will remain as 1.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this choice is good thought, but would not work. You are accepting the number, but you are not giving message to the user. You have only given message once to the user, enter 10 integers. And tomorrow, if I want to say 20 integers, so if I change this limit, the message will still be 10 integers. So it was like, Bhagyashri, please enter the next integer. That kind of message should have been given here. यहाँ message देना चाहिए था.
Okay.
You accept the number, you check whether the number is greater than max, and tell me if I enter all numbers which are negative, then this condition will never be false, true.
Yes, yes, it will go wrong.
And
Yeah.
plus max you are taking as constant, and you are assigning number to a constant. No, that is not a very good idea. Here also you are assigning number to a constant, a capital में लिखा आपने, and then you are displaying that max and min. So don't define it in capital letters. Change the case of these variables. Plus, this will not give you the right answer because the very assumption that you made for the first time, that assumption was false. The assumption आपका गलत है.
Okay.
Have you understood, Sanjay, what mistake?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else who has solved the assignment? Yes, anybody else who has solved the assignment? Now, those who haven't solved, let me know one by one why haven't you solved. राहुल, आपने क्यों नहीं सॉल्व किया बताइए. जरूरी नहीं समझा आपने सॉल्व करना.
सर अटेंड नहीं किया था कंप्लीटली सेशन, इसलिए वजह से प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट इन.
तो वीडियो देख लेते ना, रिकॉर्डिंग तो है ना.
बाद में मिला.
सागर, why didn't you solve?
Sir, there was tuition work.
Whole day. We had 24 hours. That's an excuse. She has not been attending. Shweta has come today. Viraj, why didn't you solve?
Sir, I made, but it's completely wrong.
अरे share करो ना. Who are you to decide वो कितना गलत है?
Okay, sir.
Share करो. Because I told you if you don't share, how do I know to help you? How do I tell you, Viraj, असा विचार करू नकोस, असा विचार कर? How do I tell you that? Rohit?
Sir, I am unwell past. Sir, I was unwell past 2 days, so I didn't.
Ankita? Ankita? Ankita, you're not responding every day. I have to call your name multiple times. Ankita, are you there? I'll be forced to remove you from the meeting if you don't respond.
Yes, sir, I'm there.
So why didn't you solve?
Sir, actually, it's my submission week, so I couldn't solve.
It's
It's
a
my-
lame excuse.
No,
I don't
sir.
take this.
I had to write five assignments in one night, so I couldn't solve.
Monica?
Sir, I have tried it. I have one query. I have asked Uday, but I'm not able to figure it out.
Don't ask.
I also asked for
Submit the solution. Submit the
Okay,
solution.
sir.
It may be right, wrong. I don't care. I will appreciate the person who gets the solution completely wrong as much as who gets it 100% right. It's not a matter of right or wrong. It's a matter of you attempting. Because only when you attempt, it is just bound to happen that you will get the right answers over a period of time. But it will happen only for those people who solve. So I never bother about, even if your 10 solutions are wrong, I still have hope in that fellow. And I see the possibility that you can still be a developer, a good developer. You may be very good, your IQ will be very good, but if you don't make an attempt, then I don't see any chances of you being successful in this particular domain. So it's not a matter of right or wrong. Nobody gets the right solution the very first time. After 20, 25 years also, when I start writing the code, many of my solutions are not perfect the very first time. And I realize it only over a period of time. Ask Rohit, when we are discussing data structure in sessions, are we not identifying mistake in my code itself and then I'm rectifying it while we are discussing the solutions?
Yes, sir.
Nobody gets it right. When we look at our own code again, I write the code before the session, and when I'm discussing, I realize, oh no, I did not take into consideration this condition. oh no, somewhere something has gone wrong. When you are doing debugging, when you are doing testing, we realize, and then we make an effort to rectify that. Programming is not about getting right or wrong. It's about you making an attempt. Right तो आने वाला ही है. Not today but tomorrow. जब भी आएगा आ ही जाएगा. Don't have to worry. Let's see what Viraj has done. So one of the biggest reasons why people do not make it big in the field of computing is that fear of failure. Don't have that fear of failure. Everybody fails. आपके प्रोग्राम का नाम क्या है?
Sir, my ten integers. Sir, I sent you again.
नहीं नहीं, you send me but I had saved it. डाउनलोड किया था मैंने. Okay, so look at this. Good that you did it, Viraj. There is some learning over here. Now you started writing this particular code. You have first output, then input, then output, then input, output, input, output, input. Do you see the same statements repeatedly being written one after another?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now mark my word. Whenever you come across a scenario in your program, ऐसा लिखो चाहे तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. When you come across a situation in your program wherein a single instruction or set of instruction, in your case there are two instructions, they are appearing repeatedly at the same place in the program. एक के बाद वही statement, एक output, एक input, एक output, एक input, एक accept number, accepting number, accept second number, means next number, accepting the number. So one output input, the same messages are being repeated. Small changes like you are saying first number or second number. I could have just said enter the next integer, accepting integer, enter the next integer, accepting to another variable. So when you come across a situation wherein in your program you see a situation where same set of instructions are used repeatedly in the program at the very same place, one after another, same statements have been used. This is a typical use case for loops. So loops are used to eliminate repetition that can happen in your code. तो ये जो आपने लिखा है इसी को और करने के लिए we use concept of loop. So we replace those statements with the concept of loop. So loop gives you an opportunity to avoid a repetition of code. So if there is any repetition of code, that repetition of code can be avoided by using looping construct. So these are typical. तो ये जो आपने 10 बार लिखा है ना, say think about a scenario now. How difficult? 10 बार था, you wrote it. Tomorrow if I say accept 500 numbers and display some an average of all the numbers, are you going to say accept display, accept display, accept display? Are you going to write 1000 statements? Because एक number accept display करने के लिए 2 statement चाहिए. So are you going to write 1000 statements for that?
No, sir.
No. So these are typical situations where loops can be used. देखो इसमें भी learning है. कब use करना है loop? ऐसे situation में loop use करना है. भले आपका answer is way away from what I was expecting, but still there is a learning. We understood when to use loops. Okay, how loops can eliminate that repetitive. If the statements repeat at different place in the program, there is a different solution that I have not yet discussed. But if the statements repeat at the same place in the program, we always use concept of loop. So I hope everybody has noticed it. What mistake has he done and how it can be, and the solutions that we've seen, they are the way in which we can overcome those mistakes. Okay, what is the second? Bhagish, what was your program's name?
Max, mean, and average.
I think I changed the name to Just give me a minute. Let me take her program. It was while maximum average algorithm. I just wanted to save this. Okay, what assignment that was given? Was there any other assignment that was given? Or that was the only one?
That was only one, sir.
There is on portal.
On portal, I have given you multiple assignments. They are supposed to be submitted on portal. Classroom में कोई और दिया था क्या?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's proceed further now. Now, today we look into another. What we have seen is a definite loop. Why am I calling it as definite loop? Because over here we are writing a loop which will be executed for some number of times. If it is 10 numbers, the loop was getting executed 10 times. Correct? So we are asking the user how many times you would like to perform the operation. We are saying accept 10 integers. So we know in advance how many numbers are to be accepted. That may not necessarily be the case always. Huh? So what we have been using is a determinate loop, while loop, and that too we have been using counters for that. So definite loop, number of iterations are predetermined. Iterations means repetitions. So you are already aware कि how many times कि आपको ये repetition करना है, 3 बार करना है, 4 बार करना है, you are already aware. So counter was a variable that we have been using to count the number of times that event has occurred. How many times have you done the repetition? ये check करने के लिए we have been using this counter. But these are not the only kind of loops that we have. With while we also have indefinite loop. So this loop will iterate until some condition is true. It may not be about the counting. It may be about something else. Number of iterations may vary. At times there may be 4 iterations. At times there can be 100 iterations, repetitions. We never know. Loop control variable may be used, may be altered by the user input. The loop control variable determines when the loop will exit, but its value may be altered by the user input. So let me give an example of an indefinite loop. So दो types in which will represent while loop. एक है definite loop, एक है indefinite loop. It's not infinite loop. अगर आपके दिमाग में infinite आ रहा है, it's not about infinite. It's indefinite. So we do not know beforehand how many times do I have to carry out that operation. You do not know it beforehand. And these are typical examples where we'll go in for while loop. Number of iterations may vary. Whether I want to perform 5 iterations or 10 iterations, we never know. Loop control variables value may be altered by the user input. That means the loop control variable will decide whether you would like to continue or not to continue. What we have been using is a counter that we have already seen, but now we would like to go ahead with indefinite loop. Loop perform a different number of times each time the program is executed. So first time when I run the program, the loop may run 5 times. Next time it could be 6 times. Next time it could be 3 times. Next time it could be 500 times. Who knows? So there are 3 crucial steps that we have to find. A starting value that must be provided. That means we have to ensure that the loop is true for the first time. Then you have to do some comparison with that loop control variable. And within the loop, you have to control value that controls the loop must be altered. So the value that is used for comparison, it should be changed inside the body of the loop. And you have to make some provision that that condition will become false at some point of time. Future में कभी तो वो condition false हो जाए, ऐसा हमें provision करना है. Loop control variable, any variable that determines whether the loop will continue or not. So the value of the loop control variable should alter inside the body of the loop. And the value will be accepted from the user. So that's the kind of loop which uses this sentinel value. That means a value, it's an indefinite loop which is controlled by a loop control variable whose value changes inside the body of the loop. Let's take an example of such a indefinite loop. So here there are some risks. If you forget to initialize the variable, neglecting to alter the loop control variable, using wrong comparison, including statements inside the loop that belongs outside the loop, that's what Ashish had done last time, are always correct and create the loop that cannot terminate, infinite loop. So let's take an example of this indefinite loop with the help of a problem statement. So note down the problem statement and then we'll go ahead with the solution for it. I'll do it for you. Take down the problem statement. accept integers from user. Accept integers from user. Accept integers from user and perform addition of all integers entered. So you are supposed to accept integer from user and you have to perform addition. That means you have to do the calculation wherein you perform addition of all the integers entered. Here it doesn't tell you how many integers have been entered. एक है, दो है, चार है, never know. First way, pass. Second scenario here is, okay, it's the question is कि आगे भी कोई question है. Stop performing the operation of addition when user enters 0. Stop performing operation of addition when user enters 0. When user ने 0 enter कर लिया, then we'll stop. But till the time user doesn't enter 0, you just keep on performing that operation again and again. And करते रहोगे. Display the total of all integers entered before 0. And 0 के पहले whatever numbers you have entered, you are supposed to display the total of all the integers. So if I enter number like 10, 5, 3, 2, 9, -6, -12, and then 0, तो 0 आने पे stop करना है. And before 0, whatever numbers you have entered, उनका हमें total display करना है. So we're going to display the total. Huh? So do it. We have time. Let's break out in the rooms. You have 10 minutes time to discuss, and I'll assign you to different groups. So we'll have 3 teams, discuss it and then solve it. सिर्फ डिस्कस करो, जितना होगा करें. Rooms are open for all of you. Please join your rooms. Rohit, please join. Shweta, please join. Shweta, join room 1. Rohit, join room 1. Shweta, you having any difficulty? Rohit, क्यों join कर रहे आप?
सर मी ऑटोमॅटिक बाहेर
Louder?
ऑटोमॅटिक बाहेर आलो.
बाहेर आले.
सर माझा पण तोच प्रॉब्लेम झाला, ऑटोमॅटिक बाहेर आलं.
ऍबसेंट वाल्यांना बाहेर काढतो.
Regular नहीं होता ना तो हफ्ता दो. I'll try. I'll move it to some other room. रोहित को मैं आपको room 3 में move कर रहा हूँ. देखिए join कीजिएगा. And Shweta, I will be moving you to room. Join करो प्लीज. श्वेता join करो. रोहित join कर आता था. रोहित है ऑप्शन. Team 1, could you complete? Yes or no?
Yes.
Please share. Team 2.
Yes.
So I have only one solution from team 2. Team 1. And team 3. अरे कुछ तो बोलो, yes or no? Have you done it or not done it?
Sir, just a minute. I'll send you.
Yes, Bhagishri.
Sir, I have sent you.
Yes, sent it. And team 3.
No, sir, we have not completed yet.
तो जितना सॉल्व किया वो सबमिट करो. Submit whatever you have solved. Let's look at this solution from team 2. Entered value. Okay. You could have just taken a variable called as number or integer. Number. Input counter. Okay. Is initially set to 0. I told you yesterday, you keep the variable near to the place where it is used. यानी जहाँ loop लगा रहेगा वहाँ ये statement दिखेगा. That's better. It's not a constant, correct? So I would rather prefer this variable being used before you enter the loop. What is the input counter? Where are we using this input counter? Here. Okay, so let it be just before the loop that we are using. Okay. Input counter. Sum of integers is equal to 1.
No, 0, 0. That's one small.
Exit loop number. Okay. If you just said exit, okay, exit loop number is equal to 0. Or exit value, you could have just said enter a value, enter an integer. It was all about integers. The user may enter a complex number. Do you want a complex number? Enter an integer. Let's be very clear. Entered value. First number you have accepted over here. And then you're checking input counter is 0. Entered value not equal to exit number. That means entered value, what you have entered is not 0. If it is 0, false. If it is not equal to 0, if I enter 0, 0 not equal to 0, true or false? 0 not equal to 0, true or false?
False.
False. False है तो बाहर आओगे. You entered 0, thus the loop has ended. Okay. The sum of all the numbers entered is sum of integers, that is 0. Number of inputs are input counter, that is also 0. But have I asked you how many numbers have been entered? You count बोला है? Have I asked this for this information? Have I asked this information? How many numbers have been entered? Yes, group team 1. Have I asked this information?
No, sir.
No, this is unnecessary information. Unnecessary information. So these are not what was asked for. You don't need this input counter since it was not asked. Not required. Okay. So let's take a scenario where I enter a number which is not 0. The first number I enter is 10. 10 not equal to exit number, yes. We enter the value once again. We enter the value and we add it to the entered value plus sum of integers. Your first number is lost, dear. Team 2. I enter first number as 10. 10 not equal to exit loop number. That is correct. We enter the second number and you are adding the second number to sum of integer. What happened to the first number? That number is lost. So this is not right. Have you understood the mistake?
Yes.
So let's look at the other solution. What is the name? Other team?
Sum of integers. Sum of integers.
Num is equal to 1. Sum integer sum is equal to 0. Num not equal to 0. But I would not prefer to have number as 0 here. I would rather have, as what Prithviraj and their team had tried to do, some name for this. This is what do you say? A sentinel value. It's a variable which will, it's an exit value that is there. Okay, so I would rather use constant over here. Please enter integer. You enter the first number as 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. Here we come. Num not equal to 0, condition is false. We come out, sum of integers is answer as 0. So this will work, right? Okay. First time user enters 0, you are accepting 0, you are adding 0 to 0, that remains 0. 0 not equal to 0, condition is false, so we come out. It worked correctly for the first time. Let's see it for the second time. User enters num not equal to 0. Num का value आपने initially 1 लिया है. 1 not equal to 0, condition is true. We go inside. Okay. And we ask you to enter number. User enters 5. 5 is added. 5 not equal to 0, yes. User enters second number 3. 3 is accepted. 3 is added. 3 is not equal to 0. This will keep on happening till the time user doesn't enter 0. If user 0 enter करेगा, will accept 0, add 0 to sum, 0 not equal to 0, and out we will come. So this looks right, much better than what team 2 had done. Okay, but they had accepted the first number separately. Here you are accepting all the numbers inside the loop itself, but there exists a possibility like what they were doing. So this is a perfect code. I don't see any corrections in this code, except for I would not use the word 0. I could just say exit or exit value is a constant that I could define. जीरो रखेंगे. कल आपका ट्रिप वैल्यू, एग्जिट वैल्यू कुछ भी हो सकता है. इट कुड बी एनीथिंग. तो ये जीरो कल कोई कहे नेगेटिव नंबर 5 होने पर एग्जिट करो, तो आई विल डू दैट. रेस्ट ऑल थिंग्स लुक्स राइट. एनी अदर सजेशन दैट आई कुड गिव? एग्जिट वैल्यू को 0 है, नम ने आपने वैल्यू 1 लिया है इनिशियली, so ensuring that this condition is true for the first time by setting this num provided is 1, 1 not equal to 0, condition is true. And so it comes inside and it continues performing the operation. Okay. And you are accepting number, adding that number to sum. That looks right. So I save this. We'll also run this code. Look at the way it will keep on running till the time you do not enter 0. But if here we come, I enter the first number as 10. Enter. And if I show you the variables, sum में 10 स्टोर हो चुका है. नेक्स्ट नंबर आई एंटर इज सपोज 12, तो सम में 12 ऐड हो जाएगा, 22 हो गया. नम 12 है एंड स्टिल चलता रहेगा. नेक्स्ट नंबर आई एंटर इज 5 या 6. 6 plus 22 becomes 28. Look at the variables values. Next number that I enter is -3. That will also get added. 28 minus 3 will become 25. ये चल रहा है. Next number I enter is 0. Moment I enter 0, the loop will terminate. Out it comes and displays the sum of integers is 25. So it's a perfect code that has now been written. So ये code perfect है. Any other team has submitted the solution? Integers. Nothing was done, no loop was used. Number counter equal 1, total equal 0, correct है. Integer sum है. Total किया तो sum क्यों चाहिए था? हो जाना चाहिए था आगे. So let's correct the code that team 2 had also written. वो भी code correct करते हैं. Sum of integers. No, this is team 1. There you go. Let's also correct this solution. इसमें क्या changes कर सकते हैं? Now everybody have a look at this code and tell me what change can we make in this program so that this also works correctly. क्या करें? Anybody? Yes, anyone?
Remove that output and input first.
Pardon?
Outside the loop.
Come again?
Do not accept the entered value outside the loop.
No, it's a good idea to accept it outside the loop. Doesn't matter really.
सर फिर उसको स्टोर करें एक वेरिएबल पे
किसे कौन से वेरिएबल में कहाँ चेंज क्या चेंज करें और एक
जो
वेरिएबल
बाहर
करो
फिर रिपीटिव
और
तो या
एक
तो
वन
सब में ऐड कर दे
आशीष
सब में
क्या
ऐड
करे
कर
क्या करूँ
सर
पहले
सब में एंटर्ड वैल्यू ऐड कर दीजिए अभी
यानी ये
पहले
स्टेटमेंट मैं यहाँ लिखूं क्या write this statement here यहाँ लिखूं क्या आशीष आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ
नो
आपका
सर
suggestion।
नो
तो
नो
क्या करें ऐड क्या करें ओके anybody else भाग्यश्री
sir it is 2 time accept in integers sir
हाँ
inter value 2 times accept so outside loop we can remove and we
no,
can
no.
insert
If I remove it from outside the loop then it is just like what team 2 has done Ashish and Bhagyeshri has done तो वो तो वैसा ही solution है this solution would have been very easily rectified how just by making sure this ये statement का placement अगर यहाँ कर दूँ तो देखो तो will it work or not tell me
it will yes yes
Work.
yes it
इतना
will.
ही करना जरूरी था यानी you enter the first number is not equal to exit loop number तो अगर 2 है तो first number is added to sum then you accept the second number enter the value की जगह enter an integer you accept the second number आपने enter value ले लिया enter value not equal to 0 है so you accept whatever you have entered second time that will get added then you accept the next integer okay so please enter the next integer I can say enter the next integer so it was only changing the order in 2 अगर ये ऑपरेशन पहला नंबर आपने एक्सेप्ट किया if it is not 0 add it to sum accept the next integer and when you get the next integer check whether it is not 0 if it is not 0 add it to the integer keep on doing this thing till the time entered number is not 0 जिस दिन user 0 enter करेगा the day when user enters 0 not equal to 0 condition is false so you come out and you display sum of all integers entered you have entered 0 thus the loop has ended okay this was not necessary to be specified sum of all integers entered by user is so and so that's it this will also work right with that small change that we have brought about okay so let's run this particular code and see this is also correct way to solve it let's run the code so don't reach to conclusion कि मैंने क्या अभी once I find out some mistake is totally wrong there are ways to look at that particular solution सोचिए जरा आपके दिमाग में आइडिया आया था तो कोई तो वजह रहेगी ना just work on that here we go let's save the code let's run the program sum of integers has been initialized exit loop number has been initialized we ask user to enter integer user enters integer पहली बार 0 0 enter किया तो loop is false and we directly come out the sum of integers entered by the user is 0 the program has stopped that's perfect let's run the code once again this time around we have been asked to enter 0 number I do not enter 0 but I enter number like 10 enter number like 10 enter किया 10 not equal to 0 10 sum में add कर लिया enter second digit करके यहाँ रुक गया देखो यहाँ sum of integers में 10 add हो चुका है whatever entered value is there and then we are waiting for you to enter second number I enter as 5 so 5 not equal to 0 hai it will go ahead accept adding that 5 enter the next integer it will wait for you to accept and देखो यहाँ sum of integers 15 हो चुका है have a look here then we ask you to enter another integer user enters number like 9 not equal to 0 hai it will add that number okay, so total has now become 24 ask the user to enter the number once again this time around I enter -4 if I enter -4 it goes back sum of integers equal to -4 उसमें ऐड कर लिया तो 20 हो गया again it's waiting for me to enter the number this time I enter number like 15 so 50 plus 20 will now become 70 directly so we ask user to enter number and here answer sum of integers 70 आ चुका है and now I enter 0 the moment I enter number 0 the condition becomes false we come out and we display the result look both the solutions are right okay and both of them are working in a correct way so, but over here why is this called as an indefinite loop tell me when will this condition become false after how many iterations will this condition become false 2 बार के बाद 10 बार के बाद 5 बार के बाद after how many iterations तो ये आपका iteration यहाँ से यहाँ तक This is the iteration. After how many iterations will this condition become false? Can anybody tell me?
Can't say, sir.
Cannot determine. It's indeterminate loop. So this was an example of an indeterminate loop where we could not determine when the condition will become false. We could not determine when will it become false. ये तब false होगा जब user zero enter करेगा. जब तक user zero नहीं करता है, till that time the program will not be terminated. The loop will not be terminated. Aditya, you have joined late, but if you have missed out initial session discussion, please watch the
Yes,
video.
sir.
So that was indeterminate kind of loop. Now let me give you one more assignment, and this is a bit more serious one. Have you all understood the previous one? Anybody has a doubt? Especially team 3 who could not solve it. Problem समझ में आ गया क्या?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Or you want me
Yes,
to
sir.
discuss it again?
And no, sir.
Okay. Do not hesitate. सब कुछ समझ में आ गया and I have not understood. Don't feel low about it. Okay. Sometimes simplest ideas we don't understand. Okay, but then ask. I tell you again, logic sessions are the only sessions where you have complete liberty to. This is fundamental that we are discussing. It could happen that everybody understands and you don't understand. You don't hesitate to ask, because if the concepts are clear now, you will not fall back when the programming language discussions are done. That time you will be in a position to keep a pace with everybody. You will learn language constructs very easily. So don't hesitate to ask a question if you don't understand anything now. Okay. So let's take. I'm sharing the problem statement with you all first, and I'll break you out of the room and then I'll share the problem statement. पहले announcement करता हूँ. Discussion is very important. It's team effort. So it could so happen that Monica के team में Monica writes the solution, but I could ask Viraj to explain it. So the team is successful when everybody is on the same page and everybody is together. ये ना हो कि some understood, some did not understand. That shouldn't happen. So let's break out in the team rooms once again and solve another very interesting question. Here I give a hint. It's a looping construct example. Just that you have to look at this particular question carefully. It is not straightforward as was the previous example. It was straightforward. Now this is something which is more descriptive. Understand what has to be done first, define the problem statement, and then proceed further. So follow all the steps, you'll definitely get it right. Okay, I'm sharing the problem statement first. Let me know if you all have received the problem statement. Tell me, have you all received the problem statement?
Yes.
Have you all received the problem statement? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll break you out of the rooms now once again. I'll make one small change. Rohit, are you there or you left?
I am there, sir.
Okay. So now in every team we should have 4 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Why does room 2 have only 3 people? 3 people missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello.
He's missing. क्या इसका नाम?
9.
Okay, let me
Da, da,
open the
करता
rooms. And who is remaining, I'll add in. Join the rooms, please. Everybody share the solution. Come on, I need solution to look at. I cannot keep on waiting endlessly. Okay, team 3 has shared the solution. Other teams? Team 2 has also shared the solution. Team 1? Team 1 has also shared. Let's start. टीम 3 आपने सबसे पहले शेयर किया, नाम क्या था आपके सॉल्यूशन का? Was this the one?
Yes, sir.
Sir, sale price.
अच्छा है ना?
Oh, sir.
Oh, sir.
Okay. You have some integer discount which is 10. Original price, you have sales price, you have counter. Counter is 1. Limit. Limit किसका limit? It's a limit number of days. Okay. Maximum number of days, what it is? 5. Please enter the original price of the product. You accept the first price. And then, oh, it's correct. Original price आपने accept कर दिया. Counter is the limit. So that's to keep a number of days का count है. Sales price is original price minus discount into original price. And then you're displaying the sales price. Your answer will be same for every day. हर दिन वही answer आएगा. Let's run this
हाँ
code and
सर
see.
वही रिपीट हो रहा है
सेम सर तसंच होतं.
So this
सर
is
लूप
done.
मध्ये
आपण ते
प्रॉब्लेम
केलंय
झाला
तुम्ही तसं केलंय.
It's the same problem with our team also.
Enter the original price of the product. If I enter original price of the product, you are displaying the same result because you are doing it on the same amount. The total sales price is rupees 900. क्या बात है? 100 रुपए की चीज 900 में बेचोगे तो ये डेंजरस है. 900 100 माइनस क्या लिखा है? डिस्काउंट इनटू ओरिजिनल प्राइस and that is your sales price. The original sales price is rupees 900. Original price is rupees 900. 900 कहाँ से आ रहा है? Let us see first.
सर वो बार ओरिजिनल प्राइस में से
हाँ
कट
सर 1000 लिखा है ना उधर.
900 कहाँ से आ रहा है?
सर वो डिस्काउंट है ना 0.10 करना था.
आपने
ऊपर
10% दिया है. That is a big
हाँ.
mistake.
सर मैंने बोला था पर हमने एक बार टेस्ट करने के लिए 10 लिखा था
10 लिखो और 10% को divide by 100 करो ना, तो भी 90 आएगा. And every time 90 आएगा because you are multiplying with the same original price. That was a mistake. Let's look at the other solution. Denominator point original price है, discount है, discount rate है, that is 10%. Sales price है, number of days of sales. That this is a very good name. That is 5. Input counter. ये कहाँ का input counter है? कैसा कौन सा input counter है? It was day counter. Nothing as input counter. Looks like Prithviraj just defined this name.
Yes.
ये input counter दिमाग में से निकाल दो. There is nothing as input counter. Okay. Enter the price of the item in rupees. Original price. Input counter not equal to number of days. अब number of days का input counter का मतलब क्या है? It could say day counter not equal to number of days of sales. So that would make more logical thing also. Discount is equal to original price into discount rate. Original price means say discount, sales price, same thing. Output display क्या? Original price is sales price. So your sales price will always remain the same.
Yes, it's coming 90 and it's repeating at 90.
Yeah, because you have done that. आपने लिखाया. यानी sales price is original price every time. That means every time original price into discount rate, you are going to get the same answer every time. Okay, let's see whether the other team has done. There is no point in running the code. There is another big mistake. You are displaying answer only. You are not even displaying the answer. Those guys at least had displayed the same answer again and again. This team has not even displayed the answer. No answer. You don't have the answer with you right now. Because if you display it, you will have only one value to be displayed. So the statement that should have belonged inside the loop, you have written it outside the loop. Every day the sales price was different. If you are going to calculate the sales price inside the loop, the output also should have been inside this loop. The sales price of the item is so and so. ये लिखा है आपने. क्यों चाहिए? This was totally unnecessary. ये नहीं चाहिए. Okay. Sales price यहाँ display किया आपने.
That was to They tell the user that it is for Monday, that second one's
पहले
for
बोलो ना,
Tuesday.
is as follows, तो loop के पहले बोलो फिर, say it before the loop, not after the loop ना.
Okay.
So here this may biggest mistake that you have done is over here and here. These are two mistakes that you have done. Every time you are doing the calculation of the same amount, every time you are going to get the same result. This is team 1. Is this team 1?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Original price है, sales days है 5 है, price drop rate है 10 है. That's very correct. Very nice name. Price drop rate. Okay. Integer counter है. कैसा counter है? Days का counter है. Sales price है. Enter the original price of the product in rupees. Original price accept कर लिया. Sales price equal to original price कह दिया. Counter less than sales days. Why less than sales days? 5 less than 1 less than 5. So when it comes to 5 less than 5 false होगा तो 4 ही दिन के लिए calculate करेगा. And you are doing it every time. Sales price into original price minus price drop in this. तो आप सिर्फ चौथे दिन का रेट डिस्प्ले करोगे.
Yes, sir.
अब ये
Last
fifth
day.
day. Okay. So this was also not right. So let's go to this solution. Here I can quickly make changes. एक है original price, discount है, discount. Okay, discount rate नहीं था वो. It was actually price drop का rate था. That name was very nice. It was there is 10%. Discount rate नहीं था वो, price drop rate था. That is 10%. Sales price we have. Number of days of sales very nice. Input counter नहीं day counter है. Days को count कर रहा है. Yes, the other team had given some name that was good. Sales day counter. What was that? I would call it as day counter. तो आपका day counter initially 0 है. मैंने कहा था लूप के बाजू में रखो ये स्टेटमेंट ऐसे जहां अभी यहाँ चेक करोगे ना तो लेट मी बी नेक्स्ट टू रूल. एंटर द प्राइस ऑफ द आइटम इन रुपीस. ये आपने कहा रुपीस. ऐसा नहीं आया है.
It should have been original price equal to sales price.
Enter the price of the item in rupees. That's correct. ऐसा price और original sales price. Original sales price of the item in rupees. Original price आपने ले लिया. Day counter 0 है. Input counter में हमने लिखा इसका नाम दिया day counter. Suppose day counter is not equal to number of days of sales. Day counter initially 0 है. 0 से क्यों काउंट कर रहे हो? 1 से काउंट करो. Okay, 1 से काउंट कर लिया. And instead of saying not equal to, although your condition is correct, I'll say it is less than or equal to 1 less than or 5 है क्या? पहला दिन, दूसरा दिन, चौथा दिन, पांचवा दिन kind of. Discount is equal to क्या नाम? वेरिएबल का नाम डिस्काउंट दिया क्या आपने? ओके. Discount is equal to original price into discount rate. Okay. Original price into discount rate. Okay. Sales price is original price minus discount. Okay. And यहाँ उल्टा करना चाहिए था आपको.
Yes.
आपको लिखना चाहिए था original price is equal to sales price. यानी जो नया sales price है that now becomes the original new price. ऐसा कुछ कर सकते हैं. And input counter में day counter. And here you say the sales price of the item is की जगह sales price of the item. Look at this. On watch what I'm doing. Sales price of the item on day डे काउंटर, तो बोलेगा सेल्स प्राइस ऑफ आइटम ऑन डे 1 इज 2 इज, ऐसे बोलेगा डे काउंटर, न्यू लाइन नहीं डालेंगे। तो सेल्स प्राइस ऑफ आइटम ऑन डे काउंटर, ओके, is rupees sales price. Okay. And what is the today's sales price? First day it was 20 rupees. 20 rupees pay you give a discount of 10%. 10%. So sales price became 90 rupees. Original price minus discount. So you displayed first day pay sales price 18 rupees over. So 18 becomes the original price. Day counter becomes 2. So agla din, dusra din, tisra din kind of thing. And then I get rid of this. So let's run this particular code and see.
सर प्राइस ड्रॉप रेट करना पड़ेगा डिस्काउंट रेट की जगह।
Thank you.
Every day it will give same sale price. no?
Every day it will get reduced by 10%. First day it was 20 rupees. Next day it becomes 20 pay 10% discount. 18 rupees. अगले दिन 18 पे 10% discount. Next उसका जो amount आएगा उस पे 10% discount and so on.
Yes, yes.
We also have to set discount real as real. We also have to set discount as real, not integer.
Very
It's
correct. Discount should be
another
real.
mistake.
That's also very right. तो आपने integer लिया है, that should have been of type real.
This
Not just the
runs.
discount, then your all the prices should be real.
Yes. Everything else is real.
So let's run this particular code and see. There we go. And we'll check it for 20 rupees because we have the answer for it. Enter the original sales price of the item in rupees. Okay. We enter the sales price in 20 rupees and we go inside. Day 1 है आपका. Original price drop rate से multiply किया. Calculate करके फिर the sales price on item on day 1 is rupees 18. देखो अभी आगे जा रहा है. Day counter 2 हो चुका है. अब कह रहा है sales price on item on day 2 is 16.2 and 18 रुपए पे 10% डिस्काउंट. And day 3 पे 16 रुपए पर 10% डिस्काउंट. Day 4 sales price of item on day 4 is rupees 13.12. On day 5 is so and so in desktop. Okay. So here and that's so nice to work on. यहाँ आप नीचे डिस्प्ले कर सकते थे. I hope you enjoyed the sales. This way, the Mela is over. Anything you could have displayed here. So that's how this example could have been solved. Watch it. What are we doing? We have taken all the required variables. Price drop rate is 10%. Day counter we are taking. That's less than equal to number of sales days. First day hai. So we first say 20 rupees. What is the original price? We calculate the discount, 10% discount. We subtract the 10% discount from the original price to get the sales price. We display the sales price for that particular day. And we say original price is sales price. So the first day का price now becomes the original price. And वापस अगली बार फिर उस नए sales price पे आप calculate करता हो. So you just keep on doing it again and again on the same variable. And if you want to get rid of this variable sales price, ये statement अगर आपको निकाल देना है, that is also possible. So if I do not want this sales price as a separate variable here, I want to reduce the number of statements, I could just say original price. I could just say sales price. I will not take any variable as original price. So we have only one variable as sales price. Original price नाम का कोई variable ही नहीं रखा. That's it. And we'll ask the user to enter the price and we'll accept it as sales price only. फिर भी ये काम करेगा. So in that case, what we're doing is discount is sales price into price dot rate. Sales price is sales price minus discount. What is the current sales price? So display the answer. Let's see whether this also works correctly. This time round, we'll take price, initial price is something different. Enter original price. I enter original price as 100 rupees. 100 rupees per 10% discount. It will be 90 rupees. Sales price on day 1 is rupees 90. अगले day पे 90 पे 10% discount. It will be 81 rupees. 81 पे 10% discount. And so on. Third day, fourth day. So every time the day counter is incrementing, watch it very carefully. Here, day 4 हो चुका है, अभी 5 हो गया. Fifth day का हमने calculate किया. And last we are going to say day is equal to day counter plus 1, that becomes 6. Moment it becomes 6, we still go and check for the condition. Condition is false, so it comes out and says mera is over. So that's how you could have solved this particular assignment. I'll call this as while 6 sales. Before we stop, I'm going to quickly share these solutions with you all. जो भी हमने solve किया आज. Let me know what all solutions. Final अपने जो भी थे solutions. Let me just quickly share those solutions with you. Hold on for a minute. Stop now. So after I share the solutions. पहला है ये आपने अभी हमने जो सॉल्व किया. That's one. I hope you have received. Then the other one was min max. और कौन सा था?
Sir, homework question.
File 2.
Pardon?
Homework question.
Homework
To
min max
print
था,
sum
min max
till
था.
0. To print
इसका
sum
हमने
till
एक्सेप्ट
0.
किया था. मिनिमम एवरेज वाला एक हो गया.
सर एक सम वाला था, जब तक 0 नहीं होता तब तक सम.
जब तक 0 नहीं आएगा वो. तो किसका मैंने एक्सेप्ट किया था?
I think in
Yeah, let me open up the code and see. Just give me a second.
शायद सर डी 1 का था.
नाम क्या था भाई? Sum of integers.
Yes, sir.
वो दो तरीके से किया हमने, करेक्ट?
हाँ, 2 का एक्सेप्ट किया था.
Okay. So one was this way of doing it. Have it. ये एक तरीका था. But I said other team had also done that also, right? तो कौन सा था? Low input था क्या? Yes, there are two ways. So one solution was solved in 2 different ways, and we had accepted both the solution, team 1 and team 2. Don't know. So I have also shared both the solutions. Have you all got these files that I shared?
Yes, sir.
2,
Yes, sir.
4 files I shared. Have you all received those 4 files?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there is one more assignment for you to solve and come. एक ही assignment जो solve करके आ रहा है. So take this code. I hope you have received this assignment as well. Download कर लीजिएगा. Have you all downloaded?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Before you leave for today, Now tell me what was your learning today, every day. Viraj,
Sir, the while loop, my mistake first one, where I didn't put anything in loop. That was my biggest learning.
that's a
for
common
today.
mistake. Huh? That's a very common mistake. Statements that belong to the body of the loop, you write it outside, and sometimes we write the statement that should be inside the loop, we write it outside. So understand, any operation that we have to do repeatedly will always come inside the body of the loop. Yes,
Sir, difference between indefinite and infinite loop.
infinite नहीं लिया हमने, indefinite and definite लिया. I have not yet discussed infinite loop. One was definite loop, the other was indefinite loop. Definite where we know the number of iterations, indefinite iterations है कितने हैं मालूम नहीं. It is definite and it is indefinite. Sagar, what was your learning?
So I learned the concept about loops and how to program a loop with our likings, like our conditions.
But were you absent in between? Miss को बाहर out of the meeting थे या थे meeting में continuously?
नहीं सर, अटेंड किया था पर थोड़े थोड़े कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर नहीं थे ना, तो इसलिए समझ में आया.
No. Right now, did you drop out of the lecture in between or you throughout the lecture थे आप?
नहीं सर, वो नेटवर्क इश्यू था थोड़ा, इसलिए थोड़ा सा कनेक्टिविटी प्रॉब्लम है.
संजय,
सर बिफोर द लेक्चर स्टार्ट मेरा ऐसा थॉट था कि लूप कंटिन्यू करने के लिए हमेशा वो इंक्रीज करना जरूर है, लेकिन अभी समझा वो नम क्या ना वो लूप कंटिन्यू किया.
कुछ भी हो सकता है, इंक्रीमेंट होता है, इनपुट वैल्यू से जीरो डालने पर स्टॉप हो सकता है, सेंटिनल, इंडेफिनिट लूप.
विदाउट इंक्रीजिंग भी हमने वो लूप कंटिन्यू किया.
टर्मिनेट भी किया.
हाँ,
टर्मिनेट भी किया.
यस यस. वो
There are different ways in which a loop can be used. Rohit,
So we should be very precise while putting the output, whether it should be inside the loop or outside the loop.
it's not just about the output. Any operation, understand, should it come inside the body or should it come outside the body of the loop? Spend
Yes.
time. Rohit,
Yes, sir. Given.
Raj,
Name the variables properly and do not use negative logic.
first I understood. Name the various properties. Second, what did you say?
Negative logic नहीं use करना.
नहीं do it. Straightforward में बात करो. Rahul,
Sir, indefinite loop that until its some condition is gets true, it will perform number of iterations, and then the value that controls the loop must be altered inside the body of
indefinite or indefinite loop?
indefinite.
दोनों में करना है.
Yes.
But एक जगह है ना, value increment decrement होता है in counting loop. Whereas in indefinite loop, the input of the user will change the value. Count, वो जो number जब तक zero नहीं बना, that means input was changing the value of that number, correct? The value of that loop control variable. Indefinitely. Aditya,
Sir, actually थोड़ा कनेक्शन करने में प्रॉब्लम आ रहा था, तो I got little late.
बाकी जो थे lecture में, watch the entire video again. Ankita,
Yes, sir. We learned that we should name the variable very precisely and cover content in it.
and what did you say?
Put statement precisely.
Precisely means,
Sorry.
what do you mean by precisely?
That only the main content should be added and other should not be added.
No, it's not about main anything. Any operation that I have to do repeatedly should come inside the body of group, और जो repeatedly नहीं करना है वो outside आना चाहिए. There is nothing as name. It's about operation कितनी बार करना है. Akishri,
The difference between definite and indefinite loops.
infinite नहीं दिया, indefinite.
Indefinite.
What is the difference?
Definite में हमें iteration पता होते हैं और
Number of iterations पता होते हैं.
number of iterations
हाँ.
and indefinite में number of iterations हमें वो पता नहीं होता. जब तक
अच्छा.
conditions true नहीं होती तब तक loop stop नहीं होता.
आशीष
सर जो 3 स्टेप्स है इंडेफिनिट लूप करने के वो के बारे में
भूमिका
So difference between definite and indefinite loop आणि आउटपुट मध्ये कोणत्या कंडिशन सॉरी लूप मध्ये कोणत्या कंडिशन्स घेतल्या पाहिजे जे रिपिटेटिव्ह आपल्याला परफॉर्म करायच्यात त्या लूप्स मध्ये घेतल्या पाहिजे बाहेर नाही ठेवल्या पाहिजे.
Now go through those examples that we have solved. We have given enough time to discuss those solutions today and make an attempt, serious attempt to solve the next question that is there. And don't worry about answer right or wrong here. But tomorrow when we meet, I want everybody to show me the solution, right or wrong, whatever it is. But I want to see everybody's solution. Somebody who will post this on the group as well. Who will post the solutions and the new problem statement on the group? कोई तो लो responsibility.
Sir, I will share.
Sir, I
Please
do
do
it.
that. So thank you all for in the session. See you tomorrow at same time. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.